family. How'd y'all like that intro? Just made it. So I'm here with my first video. You know, it's gonna be a little rough, but it's okay. So my first video is gonna be a story time. So the story time is how my car got caught on fire. So let's just give a little background on the story first. So I got this car for my 14th birthday. It was a 1975 SS Nova, which is a Chevy, and it had a carburetor. That'll be useful later on in the video, as a carburetor. But okay, so my city has like a little car drive around thing that we do every Sunday night, especially during this quarantine. We brought it back up. And the first couple weeks I went to it, you know, just had a good time. Went there for like an hour, drove around, had people see my car. You know, I revved it a couple times. You know, everybody's clapping and cheering. But I took a couple weeks off and just not going, and then I decided to go again. So I wanted to get my car all nice and cleaned up and everything, because I knew this time was gonna be a lot of people there. So cleaned up my car for about 3 hours, cleaned it up, looked nice and good, all shiny and beautiful and everything. And I posted on my Snapchat story, I was like, who wants to go with me? And one of my friends said, I was like, okay, that's cool. And I went to go pick him up, picked him up. I mean, it's not really important, but he was with me the whole time. We went to the thing, and all my family went too. So I had like 8 people with me, like that drove separately, and they sat like kind of on the side where nobody was. So I had got some drinks, drove around one time, you know, just at a regular normal lap, went to go pull into where they were. So I pulled in right to the parking lot that they were in, and we just talked for a little bit. My dad was like, don't be showing off or nothing, revving your engine, burning your tires, 'cause that's what everybody else is doing there, burning their tires and stuff, doing burnouts. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to, knowing that I'm gonna rev my car, you know, I gotta show off a little bit. So I wanted to show off, and we had taken off. We take off again, we popped a U-turn so we could go around the lap again. And mind you, there's a lot of cars there, so it's like kind of backed up a little bit. So I talk with my hands a lot, but yeah, it helps like paint a picture. But so we had taken another lap around, and there was a huge long line of cars right here, and there's this whole ton of people just sitting over here. They were talking to me like, hey, rev your car, rev it, you know. Me being, I was 17 at the time. I'm 17 right now. This was like about 5 months ago, and I brought in a little bit. It was snowing. Oh, it's December obviously, but so I put it in park because my car's an automatic. I put it in park, and I rev it. I step on the gas really hard one time. You know, don't ever really rev your car as hard as I did, but I revved it really hard one time. I was like, you know, let's do it again. I revved it really hard the second time, and I was like, you know what, I should do it a third time, which is a terrible idea. But I kind of, like, my foot halfway goes down on the gas pedal, and as it happens, my car just kind of shuts off. And like, I'm just looking around at people getting kind of nervous, and I turned it off, and because I turned my key, and then I tried to turn it back on, and it did not start. Like, I was like, uh-oh, it like stuttered a little bit. I was like, this is not good. And then my friend's like, do you smell that? And I started smelling a little bit too. I was like, it smells burnt in here. Like, it does not smell normal. So, and then people start running up to my car and like, hey, your car's on fire. Like, it's starting to smoke around the hood. I was like, oh crap. So I get out the car, and I wanted to look at it for a second, but I was getting kind of nervous or whatever. So they just said, hey, we'll push your car off to the side. Let's push it off to the side. And they said, get in the driver's seat so you can turn it. Mind you, it was really hard to turn it because the car was not on. So I had to turn it. It was really hard. But we got it off to the side. And then next thing you know, like a big kind of like black smoke just came up from my hood. So I popped the hood, and then I just see that the air filter's on fire. The air filter's like a big circular thing, just kind of it's made out of burnable material. And it's on fire, and people are running over with Gatorade bottles, coolers and stuff, trying to put it out. I take off my shirt and try to pat it down. It burnt me a little bit, you know, it's cool or whatever. I was adrenaline rush, so I didn't feel it. But we put the fire out. It wasn't like a huge fire, but it was still scary. I was over there kind of freaking out, and we were like, okay, we have to move my car more because we're on the side of the street right now. The people are trying to get through. So we take it to the parking lot that all the people were in, and we park it off to the side of like a spot somewhere. and people are talking to me like, oh, all you really need is a new air filter and an oil change. And yeah, and about 5 minutes go by, my friend leaves me or whatever, he has other friends there, which made me a little upset, but it's okay. And I forget that my dad is still waiting for my whole family's waiting for me to come back around. So I was like, oh crap, I gotta call my dad and I gotta tell him that my car got fired. And I was so scared to call him. But next thing you know, I dial up the phone, I call him, and I was like, hey dad, I was like, I ran into a little bit of a mess. Yeah, my car caught on fire. He was like, what? He was a little upset about it, but I mean, he wasn't like terribly upset because, you know, kids are gonna be kids. So about 5 minutes go by, he drives by, he pulls up to where I'm at, and I'm shaking, I'm so scared. He's with my mom, and my mom starts yelling at me, but he's just looking at the car. And next thing you know, I told him what happened and like what's going on. He's like, well, we're not gonna get a new air filter and oil change today in this parking lot, we're gonna get it towed back to the house. So he calls the tow company, and they show up way later because it's a whole difficult thing, because they say that it's too difficult to get in there. So we had to call 3 different tow places. But we finally got the third one. The third one says, yeah, we can go pick it up. They pick it up. Everybody's still staring at me, mind this. And I feel like people are laughing at me, but they're probably not, because it's happened to all of us. And we tow back to the house, and I'm in the truck ride home with my mom and my dad. And my mom's yelling at me, and my dad's not really talking to me, but he's not like upset. And then he finally jumps in the conversation. He's like, hey, I know you're a kid, I understand you're trying to show off your car, it's okay, stuff happens. I just wish I could have seen you guys drive around one more time, making a joke, which really wasn't a good time for jokes. My mom got upset with him too. But fast forward about a week later, we finally called the shop and we talked to him about taking it in. So we go take it in. I had to drive my car very slowly there. Hazards are on, so I don't, you know, do anything. We had changed the air filter, so it was okay to drive. And we take it. Oh no, we towed it. Yeah. We towed it to the place, to the shop. And he's like, yeah, we'll get it in about a week or so. Well, about 3 days later, he calls us and he says, yeah, we did the oil change and everything. It should be good to go. He said the carburetor was a little messed up, but it's nothing to worry about. So it's all good, and we drive it back home. And then I have to get a car for college, because I'm gonna go to college like 2 hours away, so I need a different car, because it's not a good idea to drive that kind of car. So we sell it, we post it on Marketplace, and then we sell it. You know, the guy knows what's going on with it. He's like, yeah, I still love the car, I still want it. So we sell it, and that's really the story. I mean, that's really it. The fire wasn't too bad, nobody got hurt, that was all good. And that's what my dad said. He's like, oh, nobody got hurt, so it's okay. I'll post some pictures and some videos now. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to keep the story times coming, maybe a vlog. I have a shoulder surgery coming up, so I'll keep you guys updated on that, on how it's going. It's a slap repair, so I'll probably keep like a weekly update or something, or the day of, and then a week, and then a month. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. So Double T out. Don't forget to subscribe.